Princess Valyra of the Kethari Dominion had been raised on certainty. Certainty of superiority. Certainty of destiny. Certainty that the stars belonged to those strong enough to claim them. The Kethari were tall, silver-skinned, and long-lived. Their empire stretched across 23 systems. Their fleets were disciplined. Their soldiers genetically refined. Their political structure was built on a single, unwavering principle. Strength establishes order. Humanity had been assessed accordingly. Moderate gravity world, the Royal Intelligence Council had concluded. Limited biological advantages. Emotionally driven. Divided governance. Potentially useful as a labor ally. Or as a subject. Princess Valyra had agreed with the assessment. She was heir to the Dominion throne. She studied military doctrine, fleet logistics, planetary subjugation strategies. Humans were not viewed as enemies. They were viewed as manageable. Until the border incident. It began with a mining dispute in the outer Persian belt. A Kethari extraction fleet established presence near a system previously flagged as low-claim human jurisdiction. The humans objected. The Dominion did not retreat. A warning transmission was sent to Earth. It was calm. Formal. Yield the belt. Stand down. Do not interfere with Dominion expansion. Humanity's response had been shorter. No. No threats. No theatrics. Just refusal. Valyra had watched the exchange from the high strategy chamber beside her father, Emperor Kethon. They posture. The Emperor had said dismissively. Emotion masquerading as strength. They are not unified, the Royal Admiral added. We will show presence. They will negotiate. So the Dominion dispatched a limited tactical fleet. 3 cruisers. 1 command carrier. 6 escort destroyers. Not an invasion. A reminder. Valyra insisted on accompanying the fleet observation mission. It would be instructive, she argued. She would witness human resolve crumble under pressure. The Emperor agreed. Observe how minor species yield to structure, he told her. She believed him. The Dominion fleet arrived at the Persian belt under full formation. Human vessels were already there. Valyra frowned when she saw them. They were smaller, rougher, not uniform in design. Some looked industrial, some retrofitted. They did not resemble an Empire's war fleet. They are unprepared, Valyra murmured. Admiral Fesker nodded. They lack coordinated structure. Human transmissions opened a channel. This is Commander Elias Ward of the Terran Defense Coalition. You are trespassing in recognized human territory. Withdraw. The Kethari Bridge crew exchanged faintly amused glances. Admiral Fesker responded. This region is under Dominion expansion authority. Stand down or be removed. Silence. Then the human voice again. Negative. Valyra tilted her head slightly. Still no escalation. Still no visible panic. Deploy intimidation pattern, Fesker ordered. The Dominion cruisers advanced in perfect formation. Weapons arrays glowed faintly as power cycled through heavy plasma cannons. Human ships did not retreat. They repositioned. Closer to the mining structures. Defensive, not aggressive. Valyra leaned forward slightly. They protect infrastructure? Yes, Princess, Fesker said. Why? She asked. They lack strategic foresight. She watched the human command ship carefully. It didn't move like prey. It moved like something calculating. Fire warning volley, Fesker commanded. A single Dominion plasma blast lanced across open space, striking a barren asteroid far from the human formation. The explosion illuminated the field. A demonstration. Yield. The human fleet did not respond with immediate fire. Instead, they powered up. Valyra felt it through the deck. A vibration. Low frequency. Human ships began venting external heat plating. Panels opened. Structures shifted. They are exposing hull weaknesses, one officer said. No, another corrected softly. They are shedding mass. Valyra's eyes narrowed. She accessed a closer tactical feed. The human vessels were not sleek because they were inefficient. They were layered. Reinforced. Dense. They were operating under load, she murmured. Explain, Fesker asked. They've been dampening output. Before he could respond, the human fleet moved. Not forward. Down. Into the asteroid field. Dominion targeting systems flickered. Tracking irregular. An officer warned. The human ships began accelerating through debris clusters at velocities the Dominion's navigation AI flagged as unsafe. They weaved between rocks, ricocheted through gravitational slingshots, engines flaring white-hot. Veolira's breath caught. That maneuvering would tear structural supports apart, she whispered. Not at those mass tolerances, the tactical officer said quietly. A human destroyer slingshot around a rotating asteroid and emerged directly behind a Dominion escort ship. Before Dominion weapons could recalibrate, the human vessel rammed. Veolira felt the impact reverberate through vacuum via transmitted shock data. The Dominion escort ship split. Not from explosive yield, from kinetic force. They rammed us, Vesker said incredulously. They calculated structural tolerance advantage, Veolira said slowly. Another human ship accelerated head-on toward a second escort. Instead of firing, it angled its reinforced prow at the Dominion vessel's engine core. Impact. Dominion shields flared, buckled, collapsed. The escort spun out of control. Human ships were not fighting at range. They were fighting close, brutally, like predators accustomed to pressure. Princess, one officer whispered. Their hull density is extreme. Veolira accessed comparative data. Human ships had been designed for high-gravity stress tolerances. Reinforced internal frames. Compact mass. Engine systems built to function under crushing planetary conditions. They were not light. They were built like battering rams. Another Dominion cruiser attempted broadside fire. A human frigate absorbed partial impact, hull plating glowing molten, and kept moving. It rammed the cruiser's lower wing assembly. Structural collapse cascaded through Dominion alloy. They are not minimizing damage, Veolira said. They are accepting it. She watched as a human ship lost an entire external module mid-collision, but achieved its objective. Disable. 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 The human fleet moved with reckless precision. Not chaos. Not emotional fury. Calculated brutality. They fought like gravity itself was their ally. They trained under pressure, Veolira murmured. Admiral Vesker's voice tightened. Formed defensive perimeter. But it was too late. Human vessels were inside Dominion firing arcs. Too close. Too fast. Veolira stared at the main viewport as a human cruiser passed within visible range of the command carrier. Its hull was scarred, burning, but intact, and advancing. She saw something then. Through magnified optics. Human crew silhouettes inside forward viewports. Calm. Focused. Not enraged. Not desperate. Determined. A Dominion destroyer attempted retreat. A human interceptor cut across its path and clipped its stabilizers at full velocity. The destroyer spiraled. The battle lasted 9 minutes. 9. When the debris settled, 2 Dominion escorts were destroyed. 1 cruiser crippled. Human losses? Minimal. Severe damage to 2 ships. No retreat. No surrender. Veolira's certainly fractured. These were not their primary fleet assets, she said quietly. No, Vesker admitted. This was defensive response. Yes. The human command channel reopened. Commander Ward's voice returned. Calm. Measured. You have seen our answer. Withdrawal. No shouting. No gloating. Just fact. Veolira felt something unfamiliar in her chest. Not fear. Understanding. If this was a limited defensive squadron, what would a unified human fleet look like? She turned slowly toward Admiral Vesker. We misjudged them, she said. He did not argue. The command carrier trembled as another Dominion vessel lost power in the distance. Veolira's gaze fixed on the burning wreckage drifting through the asteroid field. Then she spoke quietly, voice barely above a whisper. Father, we shouldn't have threatened them. The Dominion fleet withdrew. Not in chaos. Not in disgrace. But in silence. No pursuit came from the human vessels. That was the part Princess Veolira could not stop thinking about. They could have chased. They had the positioning advantage. They had crippled 2 escorts and disabled a cruiser. Dominion formations were fractured, and yet the humans stopped. They held their defensive perimeter near the mining infrastructure. They did not advance. They did not fire on retreating ships. They simply remained, guarding. That restraint unsettled her more than the battle itself. The Imperial War Chamber felt colder than usual when Veolira returned to the capital. Emperor Cathon stood before the vast holographic projection of the Persean Belt engagement. Fragments of destroyed Dominion escorts rotated slowly in blue light. Senior admirals lined the chamber. Political ministers stood in tiered rows. No one spoke as Veolira stepped forward. Her father did not look at her immediately. Report, he said. She did not soften it. They outmaneuvered us inside debris density, she said. They recalibrated hull mass prior to engagement. They exploited kinetic force rather than range superiority. One admiral bristled. Primitive tactics. Valyra turned to him. No. Her voice did not rise. They trained for structural tolerance beyond our combat models. The chamber stilled. Emperor Kethon finally looked at her. You are suggesting inferiority? I am suggesting miscalculation, she replied. The projection shifted, replaying a human cruiser ramming a Dominion escort. Their ships are built for sustained pressure, she continued. They fight close because they can survive close. An older admiral scoffed. They damage themselves. Yes, Valyra said calmly, and accepted that loss to achieve disablement. The Emperor's gaze sharpened. They are reckless. No, she said softly. They are disciplined. That word hung heavy in the chamber. The Emperor folded his hands behind his back. They lost vessels. 2 heavily damaged, Valyra replied. None destroyed. A murmur spread. They could have pursued, she added. They did not. The Emperor's eyes narrowed slightly. Why? Valyra met his gaze directly. Because they were not demonstrating conquest. Silence. They were demonstrating capability. The chamber felt smaller. A tactical analyst stepped forward. Human fleet analysis indicates high-gravity origin adaptation, he said. Structural integrity tolerance exceeds Dominion standard. The Emperor turned slowly. Then we escalate, he said. Valyra's breath caught. Father, we commit full fleet presence. Show overwhelming force. She stepped forward before protocol could restrain her. If we escalate, we force them to unify. The chamber gasped at the interruption. But she did not stop. They are politically fragmented, yes. But external threat consolidates them. The Persian Belt response was regional. The Emperor's expression darkened. You speak boldly. I speak strategically. The hologram shifted again, human vessels weaving through asteroid debris. They fought like they live, Valyra said quietly. Under pressure. The Emperor did not respond. She pressed further. If that was a regional defense squadron, what do you think their central fleet looks like? The room went silent. Because none of them had seen it. They had assumed. Valyra stepped closer to the projection. Humans evolved under higher gravity than most Dominion worlds, she said. Their skeletal density, their muscle fiber resilience, their tolerance for sustained force. She gestured at the ram impact freeze frame. They build ships like that. Not elegant, not ceremonial, not ornamental. Purpose-built, reinforced, functional. The Emperor's voice was lower now. You believe war would cost us? Yes. How much? Valyra didn't hesitate. More than we predicted. The silence stretched long. An admiral spoke carefully. If we do not assert authority, other border systems may test us. Valyra turned. Authority without understanding invites collapse. That earned her several sharp looks. But none contradicted her. The Emperor approached the central table slowly. Why did they not pursue? He asked again. Valyra exhaled. Because they do not want our systems. A murmur. They want stability. The Emperor stared at her. They defended territory. They did not expand. A long pause. The Emperor's fingers tightened behind his back. If we withdraw, we appear weak. If we escalate, she said, we appear blind. The projection dimmed slightly. Valyra felt the weight of the moment. She lowered her voice. Father, we shouldn't have threatened them. The chamber froze. No heir had ever spoken that way before in full council. But she did not retract it. The Emperor studied her. Long. Carefully. You are certain? Yes. And if we proceed regardless? She swallowed. Then the Dominion will discover what a unified humanity looks like. The Emperor looked back at the debris field projection. A human cruiser drifting protectively near the mining station. Scarred. Still operational. Not advancing. Not retreating. Waiting. Finally, he spoke. Open diplomatic channel. The room inhaled collectively. The Royal Communications Officer activated a secure line. It took less than 30 seconds for a human response. Commander Elias Ward appeared on the projection. Unarmored. Calm. His background showed repair crews working around damaged hull plating. He did not smile. This is Ward. The Emperor stepped forward. This is Emperor Kethon of the Kethari Dominion. Ward inclined his head slightly. We recognize the authority. A pause. The Emperor spoke clearly. The Dominion withdraws claim from the Persian Belt pending territorial review.